another powerful episode of Gas Forward, the future of energy and wealth. I'm your host for today, and my name is Yerwang Shambo. And today's conversation is one that you absolutely do not want to miss. So, today we are diving into the untapped $1 billion CNG opportunity in Africa, an urgent and timely topic as the continent looks forward to cleaner, more sustainable, and more affordable energy solutions. So, before we dive right into today's conversation, please subscribe to Doowe Gas on YouTube, follow us on LinkedIn and Instagram, engage on all our posts, and also do well to visit us on www.doowe.ng for more exciting updates. So today, this episode is proudly sponsored by Radiant Money, your trusted partner for smart and secure financial solutions. Whether you're an entrepreneur, professional, or investor, Radiant Money is committed to helping you build wealth in the right way. Thank you, Radiant Money, for making this possible. So now, let's get right into the heart of today's conversation. Our guest is a powerhouse and a pioneer in the auto gas and alternative energy space, Mr. Oluwasegun Olajuwan. He's the managing director of THLD Group, Autogas Africa, and THLD Commercial. With a strong foundation in business management and a deep passion for sustainable energy, he has become a leading voice in Nigeria's and Africa's auto gas industry. Motivated by the urgent need to reduce Nigeria's reliance on traditional fossil fuel, Mr. Olajuwon began championing alternative energy, particularly auto gas, as a clean, efficient, and scalable solution. Under his visionary leadership, THLD Group was founded to drive auto gas adoption through strategic planning, partnerships, and innovative solutions that support cleaner transportation. Through Autogas Africa, he expanded this vision across the continent, establishing operations and influence in countries like Ghana, Rwanda, Angola, South Africa, and Kenya. His consistent advocacy for energy transition has led him to engage with government stakeholders, policymakers, and industry leaders across Africa and beyond. Mr. Olajuwon has played a critical role in shaping favorable auto gas policies and driving regulatory reform. Widely recognized for his entrepreneurial impact and commitment to environmental sustainability, he has received multiple accolades and continues to inspire transformation through his leadership across all his companies. Today, he remains at the forefront of Africa's auto gas movement, dedicated to building a cleaner, more secure energy future for the continent. Mr. Olajuwon, it's such an honor to have you join us on today's Gas Forward. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you very much, Yohan. This introduction, I think I need a copy of it. That's what we'll be using going forward. Thank you very much. It's an honor to be here today.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. We're glad to have you. So, amazing. And I'm truly excited about today. So, sir, feel free, be comfortable. And yes, let's get right into it. So, Mr. Olajuwon, let's begin at the core. Can you break down what makes CNG such a compelling energy alternative for Africa right now? Why does it matter now more than ever?
Oh, thank you very much, Yohan. Thank you very much, our audience. CNG has always been that alternative solution that everyone has been adopting except Africa. And unfortunately, if I may use those two options, we have gas more. We export actually more of gas than crude. Most destinations of the African gas exportation, which is via LNG, they use the gas for what we don't use it for. One of my presentations about a year or two ago, I did mention that most of the export capacity for LNG, actually, the facilities for export capacity has been built for only export purpose. So there's no in-country utilization facility construction that we have. So every construction of LNG facility that I know of in Africa is for export. So I'm so glad and happy that we are warming up to utilization of CNG, either through compressed of natural gas or through regasification of LNG. That has given us that edge. I'm going to talk about Nigeria, for instance. Now, there's more support system that is being adopted by the government for gas utilization, which is very key. Unfortunately, introduction of CNG does not only solve the problem because we have infrastructure deficits. So we also have to make efforts to make sure we have enough CNG stations across, unlike LPG that is practically everywhere. But unfortunately, again, the cost implication for a CNG station is not like that of LPG. That's why we have not seen more private sector warming up to it. For LPG station with less than 30 or $20,000, you can have one. But for CNG station, the smallest one you have, you will need at least minimum of $150,000. So, but again, CNG, it's that solution that will be more readily available instead of gas flaring. We can actually make use of it to compress it, to process it, and have a CNG. And in the case of where there's no network for natural gas, we can make use of LNG, which we have in country as well, through the likes of Greenville, through Nigerian LNG, which again, we have the likes of Asiko that are building LNG terminal, and we also have the mini LNG being built at Jakarta as well. So unlike petrol that need to be imported or processed, all you need to do with natural gas is compress to achieve CNG. So it's that readily available solution, but just need that initial investment to prepare and to get it ready for the market for utilization. So CNG is the game changer, and it's that thing, that solution, that product that we always show the difference why they are always what not third most used alternative for maybe fourth after petrol diesel. LPG is the third most used for transportation, but CNG is taking that space also for heavy duty and lighter and medium vehicles as well.
Wow, thank you so much, Mr. Olajuwon. That was a very brilliant breakdown.
Mm.
So, sir, when we say billion-dollar opportunity, where exactly is the money? Is it in the distribution networks, the conversion system, infrastructure, or something else entirely?
So the money is everywhere. Every part of the CNG chain of business, there's money. For instance, in the compression part of it, you compress, you transport, or you compress, you re-inject into the pipe for transportation, pipeline transportation, or virtual pipeline transportation. So from natural gas, you compress, you transport it virtually. So transportation, there has to be trucking of it to mother station to a daughter station. Then obviously you now rearrange the compression into the sales to vehicles. So in the logistics part of it, there's so much money to be made there. In the retail part of it, there's so much money to be made there. In the conversion part of it, of vehicles that run on CNG, there's so much money to be made there. In the calibration, for instance, most of the guys that do conversions for us, they're not computer savvy that much. So there are other guys that are very good in computer that we can train on how to do calibration. So we'll have a different set of people doing the conversion. We'll have a different set of people actually doing the calibration. Then after sales service as well, there's also money to be made there. The promotion of it, there's money to be made there. So for instance, there's something we're bringing up in Nigeria, for instance, that gives us that confidence of quality installation. So once we've done a conversion, there's a chip that is going to be added to that conversion, and that chip at every time that you go to refuel, it alerts the station if this conversion has been done by one of the approved centers. So again, chip installation, there's a money to be made there. For the government, there's tax that has to be taken. For instance, the conversion centers, we need to pay for having approved centers. Filling stations, we have to also make more money. I know someone mentioned to me, so now if there's more CNG trucks going on the road, plying the route and all of that, wouldn't there be more or too many trucks on the road? And I said, if there's more CNG trucks on the road, that means there's going to be lesser petrol trucks on the road. And for instance, the business owners, the retail companies, they don't need to, we don't need new players in the industry. The retail companies, the ones that have filling stations, can easily also make this adoption without any issue. So at every part of every stage of this chain of CNG business, there's money making opportunity for those that can take advantage of it.
Thank you so much, sir. I just hope all our listeners are taking notes because this sounds like, like a treasure map for the bold and visionary in the industry. So, sir, speaking of visionaries, which African countries would you say are leading the CNG transition, and how does Nigeria compare in that race?
So Egypt so far has taken over from South Africa. Egypt during COVID 2020, they did about 500, even more than 500 stations. They were just installing CNG stations up on that. So the government made so much investment in the infrastructure part of it and the conversion part of it. So the Egypt, I think, in Africa today, they are the main guys that to be emulate, that we can learn from. They have done well with the conversion, infrastructure development. They've also done massively well with awareness. I think in every 5 cars now in Egypt, two is gas powered. And they did that within the shortest period of time. And the other thing Egypt did was they made sure the supply system is not beyond about 3 companies. So it makes it easier to be managed. So they weren't allowing anyone to just bring anything in. They focus on those 3 or 5 companies to bring it in. So Egypt has done wonderfully well. South Africa has done wonderfully well also in terms of CNG. In terms of LPG, Algeria has done wonderfully well. They've done massive conversion in the past. Again, Algeria has got more LPG to play around with. That's why. We also have Ghana has done well with LPG again for their taxes. So yeah, and Nigeria at the moment, I think we're catching up as well. There's significant improvement from the previous focus that we've seen. There's been more of switching. We've seen more independent companies switching, buying, building gas stations as well.
Thank you so much, Mr. Olajuwon. That's a very healthy comparison and definitely a nudge for Nigeria to do more and to move faster. So,
Yes.
of course, no great movement is without its roadblocks. So, what would you say are the top 2 or 3 barriers holding back CNG adoption across Africa, and what are the possible solutions?
I think for me is the cost implication. The CNG stations are very expensive. So it's a lot of money that is needed to make that happen. Mostly governments do participate in the first initial stage of investment, which not just in Africa, everywhere in the world. So and that was what Egypt did. That was very successful. The government did inject a lot of fund into the project. Then after it takes off, you get them to a point of no return whereby there's no option. For instance, Abuja today, there's a long queue for CNG refueling, and that's not needed because of infrastructure deficit. So we need that has been the problem. And once we can get more stations to sign up to these, and the government has made a lot of effort. They've given low tax, no VAT, no tax-free importation. But again, for as much as it's tax-free importation, they still need to pay for the equipment. So there's a lot, and the MGDI fund as well is also there that the government are offering now. People can take. I think there's the second tranche of that payment was signed up last week. About 162 billion naira was given to about 10 companies to invest in gas infrastructure. So all of those funds are very key. And we also recommend those funds should be given to actual companies that are already in the space, not that they will start looking for land, they'll start looking for equipment. But if you give to companies that already have facilities, it will be faster. So also awareness. When we were growing up, gas was like classified as that dangerous thing. You cannot even use it to cook in the house. So we've been able to create awareness, sensitization, education, safety measures. I know there's a project in Kenya that we did, and the guy said, please, when you finish, help me to cover the tank. He doesn't want his passenger to see the tank because they'll be scared to come into the car because it has the gas. So all of those education is very key. Gas is safer than petrol, and all of that. So sensitization, awareness, investment from the government, support system, all of those things are very important part of this to make it successful.
Wow, thank you, sir. I think you're painting both the challenges and the roadmap so well. And
Yeah.
yeah, thank you. So now let's just switch gears small. So to the business-minded folks listening, how should African entrepreneurs position themselves to benefit from this CNG wave, like think logistics, conversion center stations, and even tech platforms.
Yeah, investors need to obviously understand what they're investing in. That's a very key part. It's very important that they understand what they're investing in. Once they have a clear understanding of what is going on, the investment wouldn't be a difficult thing. Then also they need to understand return on investment and the challenges that are in the investment as well. All of those things are very key, or else you're just gonna be investing blindly. So we recommend people to actually look into the investment opportunities, get advice, get information, get support system, get the knowledge, get the experts. Some people don't want to even pay for consultation or consultant to help them with business investment management. So all of those things are very key parts. So once there's that knowledge of what you're going into, investment wouldn't be a difficult one because you have A to Z solution all put in your front, and you will understand the possible challenges as well, and decision can be easily made without any issue.
Thank you. I think that's like a real call to action for young professionals and
Yeah.
business owners.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we are officially halfway through this, and I mean, it's been so enlightening. Thank you so much, Mr.
Yeah.
Olajuwon.
You're
So,
welcome.
and if you've been listening, if you've been smiling, if you've been taking notes, I mean, I'm learning so much, and I know you are too. So let's just keep going, and yeah. So, Mr. Olajuwon, is CNG truly accessible to everyday drivers and small businesses, or is it still a game for government and large corporations?
Yeah, I think it's available for everybody. It's available. That's one thing we can confirm because the public stations are now doing it. But the problem is the demand is higher than the supply. That's why I think we're having the issues with now. The demand is higher. There's more people asking for it. I think in Abuja it's about 220, 230. It's less than 300 naira per SEM. Now compare that to 800 or 900 that they're selling petrol. So there's going to be queue. So the problem is the demand is higher than the supply. So that defeat the purpose. So some people like, look, instead of staying on the queue for like 4 hours, let me just go and buy my petrol and just continue my journey, please. So the demand is there, the supply is still catching up. So we just need to make sure that we leverage on the demand and have more supply capacity. So not even just building the stations now, we also need to make sure that where is the actual gas coming from. So for instance, up north, the closest natural gas pipeline is at Obajana. So Obajana, how far can you transport CNG? Less than 300 kilometers. So you will struggle to get the CNG to Kaduna. So Abuja is fair. So now up north from Kaduna or from Abuja, we have to consider LCNG, whereby we will regasify LNG. LNG can be transported anywhere, how far, whatever the distance, then you regasify on site. So it's not about it's for the elite only. It's available, but it's not just enough for the demand that is on. So we just believe that more support will be given to by the government to ensure there's more of these stations are adopting CNG and are actually having CNG the way they should. Because we also had information that some stations who do have CNGs that their refilling capacity is not up to par. So again, we need to make sure they have the actual and the right CNG station in the right place. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Olajuwon. I think that gives us some hope because accessibility is key, and it's
Yes.
great to hear that there's a pathway for everyone. So,
Yes.
sir, let's address the elephant in the room. How do you respond to the concerns people have around CNG use, especially in crowded cities or areas with weak infrastructure?
Yeah, so safety is a major thing. Safety first, safety always. That's what we promote. If it's not safe, it's not good. CNG conversion, you can have a very good component, but a bad installer, it's a bad thing. And you can have a substandard component and a good installer install it. You might even get away with it. You won't have any issues. But the good thing with CNG is if you're refilling, if it's not done properly, it's not gonna work anyways. So it's not like petrol. For instance, petrol, you can go and refill petrol, and if your tank is full, you can continue to refill. It's still gonna be coming out. But for CNG, once it's filled up, it will stop automatically. You cannot. If it's not plugged in properly, it will not dispense either. So the safety part of CNG or LPG or gas in it as a whole, it's very important. It's very big. It's very top notch. It gives you that assurance that if it's not safe, it's not gonna work. So it's just more education, more awareness to assure people that it's actually safe. The same thing that happened to a petrol engine, if it happens to an LPG or gas engine, you expect the same thing, but they are all sensitive. They are all safety valves here and there for CNG, and that allows you to have a better installation. So it is safety part of it is not a problem at all. Which we just need to create more awareness surrounding that to assure people that this is actually safe.
Yes, thank you so much, sir. I mean, it's good to hear that safety isn't being overlooked, but actively built into the model. Right. So, next question. What role are international investors and foreign governments playing in developing CNG infrastructure across Africa?
Yeah, well, there's companies, there are countries that give export finance loans, the cleaner energy loans that we are aware of. Some companies, some countries rather don't fund for loans like that anymore because they want cleaner one. But I think CNG LPG is still in that range of company project that can be funded by international bodies, and it's just to assess it, and mostly international investors, what they want to be sure of is how safe is our investment. It might be good money, but if you're to move out the money, how safe it is to even move the money back to their country of origin. So all of those things are key parts of investments that need to be looked at. But yeah, um, international investors are looking into it. We know a particular company that has actually, so they sell from Nigeria now. They don't bring it from the country of origin anymore. They import without buyers known. So they have a storage, they have a warehouse, they sell from Nigeria, they take Naira as a currency from you, and they're good to go.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir, for that. So, if you were advising the Nigerian government today, what's the boldest move they could make to fast track CNG adoption nationwide?
Infrastructure. That's all. Infrastructure. Infrastructure. And not just any kind of infrastructure, the right kind of infrastructure. Because you can have a very bad infrastructure and it's not going to work. We've seen it. CNG is not like you can have anything and it's going to work. No. If you don't have the right thing, you're going to suffer for it. So infrastructure, there's a lot of conversion kits in country now as we speak. But how many cars are you going to convert? Where are they going to refill? So the cars are now saying, if we convert, where are we going to refill? The taxis that have been converted, they are removing the kits and selling it because they can't get gas, So infrastructure is very key. Access to gas is also very important. So these two things are very important part of this of transition.
Thank you so much, sir. I think I just need to like call the president and tell him that he should just appoint you as the special
Yeah,
advisor.
yeah. That,
Getting the phone, but something special advisor to the president on energy, right?
it won't be
We
a bad
just,
idea.
I know, right? So we just need to
Mm.
get into the right rules. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for that.
No,
So
no.
as we wrap up, you know, looking ahead to the year 2030, how do you see the energy and transport landscape in Africa if we fully embrace CNG?
Yeah, I think between now and 2030, with the momentum that we're going, I think we're in the right path. By 2030, I believe in every five station, at least three minimum should have CNG. And with the momentum and the path at which we're going, I can see that happening 100%. I can see that happening. We just need the government to support. This current government has 2 years before the first time. If the next time they continue with the project or anyone that comes in or whatever that happens, we just need to put a full force of a 5 year plan on the CNG project. So we encourage the government to continue with the remaining part of this term, and the next time they should push a complete 5 year with the same capacity, with the same strength. I can see by 2030, there will be at least in every filling station, every five filling station, three will be CNG powered. And even LPG must have come upstream as well. And in every 10 cars, I think 5 will be gas powered as well. I believe that.
Wow, that's great. I mean, a future of possibilities ahead. So, sir, you've
Yes, it
given
is.
vision, strategy, and plenty of motivation. Honestly, what an insightful conversation it has been on the untapped
Thank you
billion
very much.
dollar CNG opportunity in Africa. And I mean, it's not just a catchy title, it's real, it's viable, for the path of energy transformation, entrepreneurship, and sustainable development. So, Mr. Oluwasegun Olajuwan, thank you so much for sharing your
No,
knowledge, your experience, and your vision with us today. We definitely look forward to having you again in the future. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
thank you very much for having me. Thank you very
Thank
much. Have
you.
a
All
lovely
right.
day. Thank you. Bye.
All right. So, to everyone listening or watching, thank you for joining us on Gas Forward, the future of energy and wealth. Don't forget to subscribe to Doowe Gas on YouTube. Follow us on your favorite podcast platforms. Engage with us on LinkedIn and Instagram. And also do well to visit us on www.doowe.ng for more updates. So, everybody, until next time, let's keep learning, let's keep building, and keep pushing for a clean, sustainable energy in Africa. I'm Yerwang Shambo signing off, and I will see you in the next episode. Thank you so much. Bye.